So this should be 100% black, and this should be opacity 100% white. Okay, and then click OK. So what I can do now, I'm going to draw out, left click and hold from the center of the image till I get something similar to this. Okay, and that isn't what I want to create. I'm just going to go a step backwards here, edit, step backwards. I'm going to go back into my gradient tool, and I'm going to change the color here to white, because I actually want it going from a white to a medium gray, not a black to a white. So this would be a medium gray here. Okay, and that's what I want to create. So if I drag from the center again, and you can go back to get something similar to this. Okay. Now we're going to set the transfer mode of this layer up here to color burn. We'll just find color burn. Okay, and it's just made our image a bit more dramatic. So by creating that radial gradient, we can see it's a bit brighter in the center, not taking our viewers' attention away from what we're trying to look at, and making it a bit more dramatic around the edges here. Now we're going to add some depth to our image, some blurriness, and just to add a bit of depth in here. So what we're going to do is, first we're going to save this. We're going to merge all these layers together, but I'm just going to save the project as something else. Let's say this one's called So Far, but So Far 2, let's say, of your final project. Just so you can go back to the original and make adjustments. So as we did before, we could go Control-Shift-E, which will merge everything together for us. And what we're going to do now is use Quick Mask Mode. Quick Mask Mode, you can enter it from down here by clicking here, or using the shortcut of Q. It's another way of making a selection to an area. So instead of using either the pen tool or using our polygonal lasso tool, one of these, we can also use Quick Mask Mode. So if I enter Quick Mask Mode, what I'm going to do is use a gradient. Again, another gradient, and this time it is going to be from black to white. Select my color in here. And it's going to be from black opacity 100% to white opacity 100% as well. So then what I'm going to do is just simply start at the top and drag down, let's say around, that looks like around 5/8 of the way, just so the CD cover is nearly covered. Say maybe a tiny bit more. And give that one more go. Okay, so we're getting most of it in there. So now if we exit Quick Mask Mode by either pressing Q or pressing this button at the bottom left, we'll get a selection that we can apply filters to. So now we're going to apply a filter to this selection. I'm going to go to Filter, Blur. I'm going to use a lens blur, and the radius is going to be, let's say if I keep it around 12, is looking okay. And I'm going to make sure that more accurate is clicked, and we're using the layer mask at the moment. You can see how it changes if it was set to none. So we want to use the layer mask that we created, and we're blurring out some of the edges here. So that's why we created this selection, because I wanted to get a bit of depth of field. Depth of field is where some parts of the image are out of focus and others are in focus, okay, to give an overall more photographic look to the final image. And when you're done, press OK and Control D to get rid of the selection. Okay, and that's it, we're actually done. So if we just want to preview this a bit better on the screen, we can hit Tab once, hit F twice, or 3 times, and I'm going to hit Z for the zoom tool and just zoom it to 50% so the edges aren't jagged. And that's our final image. our final cover. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.